I could really see the movie in my head. I could see what it was visually, not so much from a story standpoint, but visually. And I just started writing, you know, how I saw this movie, what the visuals would be like, what would it look like, what would the shooting style be, and I wrote like 10 pages, and I sent them back to them that night, and that's really when the ball started rolling. I think the Abnett Lanning run on Guardians of the Galaxy is the one that's the closest in tone to what we're doing in the film. I mean, first of all, we're using the characters basically that Abnett and Lanning used, and there's something about their tone which is both you know, humorous, but also, you know, dark in places, very big, but also light at the same time. It's a very interesting mix of tones that I think we do that same thing with the film. The first person we meet is Peter Quill, and we meet him very early on when he's a young child and he's losing his mother. And I think we feel something for him because he seems like a good kid, and he had a bad run in life, and he's abducted by aliens. And we meet him again 22 years later when he's sort of this jerk who's stealing things from other people and not a great guy. And he loves Femalians and is not the nicest guy with them either. And he's sort of a guy that has a lot to learn, both about the world around him and about himself. All the names were incredibly exciting in different ways. You know, Chris Pratt wasn't exciting because he was Chris Pratt. He was exciting because I never thought we'd find the guy. We screen tested a lot of people before we came to Chris. And then, boom, I knew within, you know, a minute of his audition that he was the guy. Michael Rooker as Yondu was exciting because he's my good friend. He's been in all my movies, and I wrote the role for him to play, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to push him through and get him to play the role, but he did. And I'm really excited to have him around. And Benicio del Toro is one of my favorite actors in the world. He is truly one of my favorite actors, and to be able to get him to come in and do The Collector was exciting. Same thing with Glenn Close and John C. Reilly. These are actors who I've liked and admired for a long time, and the reason they're in this film is because I was fans of theirs, and I'd never met them, and was able to fortunately get them to agree to do this insane film. Zoe has brought a lot to the role of Gamora. I mean, Zoe really has influenced her role in a lot of ways more than any other cast member, because Zoe signed on fairly early on, and she went through a couple of the drafts with me in terms of trying to create a character who was both a strong female character, but was also very flawed. I'm grateful and I'm excited, and I really just hope that we can, you know, affect people in the same way that movies affected me as a kid. And I don't just mean kids, I mean adults and everyone, that somebody can go into the theater and experience just a little bit of magic, a little bit of hope. You know, this is a movie about a bunch of losers who think they're bad and realize along the process that they're good, that there's something good about them. And if people can go see this movie and realize that they're like these people, that maybe you're hard on yourself, maybe you think you're a bad person, but you find a little bit of goodness in yourself through watching this movie, I mean, that's the greatest thing you can really hope for.